Hi friends, it's Rabbi Briskin with a thought for Shabbat. There are times when it feels like when we're all in it together, and there are times when it feels like we're split into two camps, and there are times when we feel completely alone. This was part of the Israelites' experience as they left Egypt and began their march through the wilderness. In this week's Torah portion called Beshalach, the Israelites flee Egypt, experience the miracle of the crossing of the split sea of reeds, and then begin their journey towards the Promised Land. And this journey begins on a sour note. Once they are on the other side of the sea, they experience thirst and hunger, and then when they are at their most vulnerable point, they suffer an attack from Amalek, the first of many incidents of desert warfare that they will experience in the years ahead. The Israelites transition quickly from their euphoria right after crossing the Sea of Reeds to their grave fear and uncertainty of what awaits them in the wilderness. Many times the Israelites cry out to Moses, "Did you bring us out of Egypt only so that we could die in the wilderness?" This shift from euphoria to fear takes its toll on the Israelites. At the sea, they all felt that they were in this together. There was a sense of collective pride and joy after the triumph over Pharaoh. The language of the Torah speaks in terms of we and us. Just as we say at the Passover Seder, we were slaves, now we are free. Now, as the situation turns ugly, the language shifts in the course of one verse. "Why did you bring us out of Egypt?" they cry out together, "only to kill me and my children and my livestock with thirst." The collective concerns of the community are reduced to individual complaints by each Israelite. When times get tough, often we become divided. We split into camps or even go at it alone. That was in large part the experience of the Israelites thousands of years ago. It seems to be our condition today as well. Policy debates centered around the pandemic are no longer about what we need to do collectively. Today they are about what I individually am willing to do or not. I'm willing to get vaccinated and boosted to protect myself and others, or I'm not going to get vaccinated because I don't trust the science, even if by doing so I put myself and others at greater risk. I'm going to wear a mask so that I can better protect myself and others, or I'm not going to wear a mask. It's my choice, and I'll do what I please. Divisions have increased at schools, in the workplace, in our everyday encounters, and sometimes it's just awful and very, very ugly and nasty. Friends, it's time to take a breath, to regroup, and to think hard about what we must do individually to rebuild a greater sense of communal responsibility, communal hope, and communal trust. We have much work to do to repair relationships and restore trust as we try to move from the language of I and me to us and we. May we do our part to regain some semblance of community out there in the larger world and work towards repairing and sustaining a world that rests on the power of us and we rather than they and us or just I. We're all in this together. Let's continue to do our part. Shabbat Shalom.